G'day and welcome to another Pokemon Go video. Today I've got a bunch of Pokemon cards on the right hand side. So let's see if anyone can tell me what sets they're from in the comments. Jumping into Go Battle League, all the leagues are open and I'm going to be jumping into Great League. And going to be love it or hate it. I'm going to be giving the Grasshole team another run through. So Bastiodon running Smackdown, Stone Edge and Flamethrower, Tropius running Razor Leaf, Leaf Blade and Aerial Ace, and Victreebel running Razor Leaf, Leaf Blade and Acid Spray. So nothing too flashy about those moves, all pretty standard, all double moved, so all is good. And we'll jump into the first one and see what we get. So Mandibuzz on the lead. So this was made popular by the Halloween Cup. And then they straight swap into Cresselia. So Cresselia is going to do really poorly against Bastiodon as well. However, Mandibuzz, I just don't have. So my backline, so because it's Grasshole, doesn't have huge play. So I swapped into my Tropius here, and what I'm going to do is commit shields. So obviously they've committed a shield, so I will match that because I do want to maintain switch, and I've actually gone for a second shield, so that's really bad. Would have been ideal because they're going to throw another Grass Knot, which they have. It would have been ideal to shield up a Moonblast earlier, just because the Grass Knots are going to do absolutely nothing, but they will be putting me within range of being taken out. So I am able to get to the charge move there and take out the Cresselia and maintain switch, and they've got a Shadow Vic in the back. So I'm going to mirror this and let's see what they want to do. So they're throwing their charge move here, which is absolutely fine with me, and then they've swapped into the Mandibuzz, so really good swap there, and unfortunately I'm not going to be able to burn all that energy. So Mandibuzz is going to be weak to the Bastiodon. It's basically going to be able to do absolutely nothing. Shields are down, so happy days, and I'm just going to look to farm down a lot of extra energy here. So for this, going to not charge this up at all, just a tiny little bit of energy. I don't care what the Mandibuzz does, it's not going to be enough to, and obviously they know I'm farming to a charge move. I'm at the Flamethrower, instantly Flamethrower that down, so bye-bye to Shadow Vic, and then I'm going to be able to fast move farm down this Mandibuzz here and take game 1. So really good game there, and happy with obviously the outcome, and we'll jump into the second game. So Bastiodon, so there is, let's be honest, a lot of hate for this team. It is fairly linear, I guess, and the skill level required to play at a fairly high level isn't actually that high. So if you're struggling or to get to that next rank, this season's probably not quite so bad, because as long as you get some wins, you can get to rank 9 eventually. But if you're struggling to get those wins, definitely give this team a shot, and it works out pretty well. So the whole point of it is to save your shields for Shadow Vic in the back and have that cause the Razor Leaf damage that is required to take it out, because Razor Leaf on the Shadow Vic just does so much damage, as you will see in the last game and throughout these games. So into the second match, and we've got Tropius on the lead, so they've swapped into the Deoxys defense there, which isn't ideal. It is going to have access to Rock Slide. However, this one looks to be running Thunderbolt, and if it's running Thunderbolt, it will be running Psycho Boost as well. So they've thrown the Thunderbolt there, charging up, and it looks like they're farming up to back-to-back Psycho Boosts. So I will shield this first one, and it is going to then debuff it. So I won't need to shield the second one there. It does do a little bit of damage, and then I'm going to look to over farm. Unfortunately, I did let it get to another charge move, so I'm going to commit to the farm down and able to fully commit to the farm down there and take it out with very little health remaining on the Tropius, which is absolutely perfect because it means they won't get too much farm on their own Tropius. So I'm going to bring out the Bastiodon there, and do expect to see a swap here. They're not swapping, which is fine, and then there's the swap. So they swap into the Stunfisk there, and they're going to throw the Rock Slides, which is going to do a lot of damage, so I am able to get to a Leaf Blade before they're able to get to a second Rock Slide. There's their shield. I am going to match that shield and look to farm this thing all the way down. We'll see if they get to another Rock Slide. Unfortunately, they get to another Rock Slide. Absolutely fine. I'll be able to take this out with a couple of fast moves here, a couple of smackdowns, even though it is resisted before they're able to get to an Earthquake and challenge me there. So that is the next game done, and good game right there. So Shadow Vic doing its job. Unfortunately, it is always so much nicer when you have a shield and an Azumarill comes out. So you can commit one shield and fully farm down an Azumarill, which is absolutely perfect. So next game, Tropius on the lead. So I don't know what's going on here. Out they swap, and it's another Defense Deoxys. So I'm expecting this one to, normally they're running Rock Slide, and this one is no exception. So unfortunately this one is running the Rock Slide, and that's going to put me at a bit more difficult spot. So we'll see what we can do. So get the shield, and I'm going to mirror the shield as well, so I'm going to match that. I do need to keep at least one shield in the back for, well, I do want to keep at least one shield in the back for my Shadow Vic, but they do commit to a second shield, so I'm going to match this so I can maintain alignment, because my Shadow Vic is going to have absolutely no play against their Tropius. So what I'm going to need to do is maintain alignment, which does mean I've unfortunately got no shields for Shadow Vic, and Shadow Vic needs shields. So really nice undercharge from them there. Unfortunately for them, it did allow me to get to an Aerial Ace, and then they're going to farm me down. So it does cause them a little bit of pain there, so they instantly swap out, and I'm going to do the same. Going to look to, I'm going to have to tank these Rock Slides, so I can only manage to tank one, and I'm going to try and get to a Leaf Blade before they can get to a second Rock Slide. I'm not able to do it, so they're going to be able to Rock Slide me. So instantly throwing the Flamethrower there, it is going to be super effective, and I do need to make sure I take this out before it gets the Earthquake. I am able to do so. Out comes the Tropius. It's going to have absolutely no play against Bastiodon, so it's, yeah, GG's right there. Could have just smacked down, farmed it down, got to the Flamethrower, so might as well throw it and take the game. So good game right there. Able to take that, I would say comfortably, but it wasn't too comfortably in the end, because not having a shield for Shadow Vic in the back is never fun times. So into the next game, and as Altaria on the lead, which is really, really nice. They swap into the Hypno. I'm going to counter that with a Tropius, and we'll see how we go. So we got one shield. I am worried about the Ice Punch here, so I am actually going to shield this up. Unfortunately, it's the Thunder Punch, so that's insane. So they have managed to bait me. I do know at this point they're not running Ice Punch or Flame Punch, because there's no point to throw a move so quickly. Well, throw that first one and risk me not shielding it and missing out on all that damage. So let the second one go, and then out comes a Scrafty, which is an interesting choice, and I am going to have to shield this up. It is going to be a foul play, so that's a really nice shield there. Out comes the Altaria to try and catch my Shadow Vic, but instantly swap into good old Bastiodon. It's not going to be able to do absolutely anything here, and I'm going to have to commit to a full farm down here on the Bastiodon. Out comes the Scrafty and throw the shield, and the move here, so here is a bit of a mistake. You should be throwing Flamethrower rather than the Yeah, so should be throwing Flamethrower as the move. They throw Foul Play, which is unfortunate for me because I catch that charge move, but then I am able to farm down with Razor Leaf there, so really good game, able to take that one. So we'll jump into the next one and see how we go. So I've been pretty lucky so far with leads, so they've all been pretty positive, but it's not always the way. So one of the big advantages of this team is you do want to have an Azumarill lead because you can switch in your flyer and then you'll catch their anti-flyer. So here I make a little bit of a mistake and I swap straight out into the Tropius. I was considering this a fighter, but it's actually a steel type, so my moves are going to do absolutely nothing to it. Thankfully, I was able to get a shield here, and I'm going to match their shield. Unfortunately, they've got back-to-back foul plays, and that's going to take me out, so really unfortunate here. And then it's really thinking of what to bring out here, so out comes my Bastiodon. I am wondering if this is going to be a close combat, and of course it's a close combat, and look at that damage. I'm barely going to be able to take out their Berserker. Out comes the Deoxys Defense. This is going to be a Shadow Boost, a Psycho Boost, and then they're going to swap out. So I have to shield that up. They swap out into the Azumarill. Unfortunately, the Azumarill is going to be able to get to an Ice Beam before I'm able to take it down. So I actually throw the Acid Spray because I know they're going to shield it up, and maybe I could have got to another. I could have charged it down, but it was. Yeah, never going to happen. So, good game right there, and let's see what the reward is. So, got a Rufflet there, always good to see, and we'll see how we go in this next set. So, we'll jump straight in. Obviously, running the same team, good old Bastiodon in the lead, and we'll see what we get. So, Bastiodon in the lead into Surfetch, which is a fighter, so I want to get out of there, switch into my Tropius. It was very, very quick to charge up, so no shield there, and then they swap into a Alolan Marowak. So able to burn that energy, which is really, really good for me, and then they swapped into the Alolan Marowak, gave me a little bit of time to farm, and then I'm just going to throw charge moves on this thing. Not going to worry about shielding anything up, but they don't throw any charge moves anyway. And then here, what I want to do is get a Smackdown through, and I get a Smackdown through before they're able to throw a move, which is absolutely outstanding. All that energy wasted. So get to the Flamethrower, get a shield on the Sir Farfetch'd, and then I'm going to jump in with my, obviously, I have no choice, Shadow Vic comes out, shields are up, Leaf Blade comes through, that's unfortunate for me, shielding up the Leaf Blade. I want to save this, it is another Leaf Blade, so absolutely fine. I want to save my second shield for whatever's in the back, so out comes the Sableye. I'm going to be able to farm that down before having to, well, fast move farm that all the way down. They're not going to throw a move because they weren't going to get to 2 charge moves, so they didn't want to waste. Obviously, you would just shield it up. So it was fast move damage there to see who took that game. And I was able to take it because of the insane damage Razor Leaf does from Shadow Vic. So really good right there. We'll jump into the next one and see how we go. So Haunter on the lead. So this one's not too bad for me. They switch into Shiftry. So not ideal, but also not terrible. So the reason I want to switch out is because I can soak a lot more damage with good old Bastiodon, so I don't want that matched up against anything else, and then able to farm down the Shiftry because they don't want to use a shield. They have to save shields for Haunter. So out comes Haunter. I'm going to let my counter time down, and then I'm going to absolutely go to town on it with my Bastiodon. So Bastiodon, let's see what they want to do. So he's throwing the Shadow Punch as a bait there. Let's see, too fast, going to be another Shadow Punch coming through, so it does no damage to me whatsoever. And then what is in the back? Out comes the Galarian Stunfisk. Going to shield that one up, and then I'm going to instantly swap, and they leave the game because they know with 2 shields I'm going to be able to farm them all the way down. So good game right there. So let's jump into the next one and see what we get. So going well so far. Haven't actually lost too many leads too hard, which is really good, apart from the Berserker, which was not ideal. So outcomes. So Alola Marowak on the lead. They swap that straight into Shiftry there, and Shiftry is going to be doing a lot of damage, but I'm not going to shield this up. It is the foul play, unfortunately. I would really want them to bait right there, but they're not going to. So going to throw my own Leaf Blade and then look to farm down again. And the reason I swapped out is obviously Bastiodon has a pretty good matchup against the Shiftry. However, nothing else has a very good matchup against Alola Marowak, so I want to save the Bastiodon to take out the Alola Marowak. So Alola Marowak has got a lot of energy here, and it is just going to be going to town on throwing moves. Out comes a Azumarill. So this is where you want Shadow Vic locked into an Azumarill. Absolutely perfect. So 1 shield and then farm it all the way down. Out comes the Alola Marowak. Going to throw the Acid Spray. So they've decided not to shield that up at this point. I think they know it's GG's and they leave the game. So usually some people would shield that up with 2 shields, but I think at that point they decided that was a good game at that point, which it really, really was, with a shield and Bastiodon in the back. Absolutely perfect. So another Surfetched. Another Surfetched on the lead there. Swap out into my Tropius, and then they throw the Shadow Bone. So there's the Raid Day move right there. Didn't get the debuff, which is really good for me. And then going to look to, if they're farming me down, unfortunately, I'm not able to get to another Leaf Blade. So I'm going to, again, let this timer count down. So my switch clock is up, and going to come out with good old Bastiodon. No shields here, so they're just going to throw all of these moves. A whole lot of charge moves down. I'm hoping to get it before it gets another charge move, which I am able to do, but I've got no energy. Wow, I've got not much energy left for the Farfetch to farm here, and I'm going to throw my fire flamethrower and then get out of there. So instant swap, because there's no point sticking around. I'm going to use a shield, and it is the Leaf Blade, so I would have resisted that a lot, and then is Mandibuzz in the back, so that's not ideal for me. No one wants to see that. I'm going to throw the Acid Spray. They don't shield it up and take me out there. So good game on their part. So wasted a shield on the Leaf Blade from Surfetched, but I mean, it is what it is, isn't it? So unfortunately, good game to my opponent that time. So we jump into the next one. So Wigglytuff on the lead. So not a bad lead for me because I'm going to be resisting those dark moves. I'm going to come in with Tropius on the Galarian Stunfisk. Obviously, it is going to have Rock Slide, which is going to be super effective because of the flying type, but that's fine. I going to shield up the next one because obviously they shielded, so I want to match their shields here. If they want to shield, they're free to do so. I'm going to let this one go because Mud Shots are not going to be, they're going to have to throw another charge move to take me out. They're not going to be able to farm me down. So they did actually swap out, so now they're locked in, and I'm going to fast move farm down there. Fast move farm down the Wigglytuff. Not much energy left, and I am going to Acid Spray the Shift Tree. Leaf Blade is going to take me out, and out comes the Bastiodon to farm down, and then out comes the good old Galarian Stunfisk here. I'm going to Flamethrower. They're going to shield that up. Right here, it's questionable. I'm going to let that one go, and it is the bait, so that's massive. And they realise that that's GG's right there. Calling that bait was huge, and meant that was game over right there for them. So perfect. Able to go 4 and 1 in another set, so 8 and 2 in total, and got rewarded with another Rufflet. So if you do want to improve your excellent throws, I'll link to a couple of videos now. So one, just how to improve them in general for raid bosses, and then one looking at excellent throws to be able to get one of those Surfetch that people seem to be using a bit. So obviously, let's see if I can hit that excellent throw. Rufflet jumping around a bit. Obviously, give it the good old pineapple berry to get the extra candy, and we'll see how we go. So if this thing actually attacks, I will throw the ball. Managed to jag the excellent there, so happy days. We'll see if it stays in. So that stays in, and we'll see what this does to my score. So currently rank 9, as you can see, and sitting in the 2700s, and get to 2796. So that is my new high score for season 4. So 2796. So really good there, and looking to push up a little bit higher, and we'll see if we can push those upper limits of rank 9 before season 4 comes to an end, and hopefully we can continue on our winning way, but it will get harder. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully it was useful for someone, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.